LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing, co-hosts Brian Schmidt, PJ Noodleman, and producer Dangerous Dan Margetta. Call the show anytime at 414-421-7901. And now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And welcome to the program from sunny Phoenix, Arizona. Your host, Todd Bailing, joined by my three cohorts, beginning with Brian Schmidt in Utzberg, USA. Morning, Brian.
Good morning. Yes, made it back from the Dells yesterday, where we saw the last asphalt race of the year in the state of Wisconsin. The last dirt race of the year may be today, weather permitting, at Sun Prairie, so we'll see.
PJ Noodleman over in Trempealeau, who did not make the trip. First of all, PJ, it's great to have you back. You've been taking care of your mom, who's had some major health issues. It's great to have you joining us once again. It's good to hear your voice.
Well, thank you very much. I'm still taking care of her, but I am happy to be back.
And Dan Margetta, who actually ran the camera at the Dells yesterday, among all the things he likes to do, actually went to the Brewers game on Tuesday when he got off the plane coming back from last week's race in Las Vegas. But, well, Brewers are done, I guess. Thanks a lot. If you had been there for the other game, they might have won one.
Yeah, they were close, weren't they? I was still in Vegas, but yeah, we're back. Ready for another race, ready for Talladega, a wild card event to set maybe another driver in the Final Four. Although I think if we have an opportunity to get another point guy in, this might be it, because Talladega is such a crapshoot.
It is. It is. As we get going today, we're going to share some bad news with you. For all of us. As you know, this is the 41st season of being continuously on the air in Milwaukee, and today's show is not being carried on WOKY 920 because they made an agreement with the NFL to carry pregame programming last week and this week. Well, in that 2-week stretch, lots of things have been happening at iHeart. One of which is the Packers had their home affiliate, their flagship affiliate, 97.3 The Game, has changed formats from sports, is now, I guess, music. Matt, do you know that? Did they change to a music format?
I'm Congressman Scott Fitzgerald. I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with President Trump, fighting to put Americans first.
What?
In too many cities, dangerous illegals walk free as police.
Wow. It's adult contemporary.
Yes.
Thank you, Brian.
Adult contemporary. So music.
Yes, music, yeah.
All right. Well, they fired all the people that were costing them money to put their outstanding radio programming on about sports. And while the shit is hitting the fan, they figured out, because 920 and 97.3 The Game, as you know, are all owned by iHeart. They figured out that LTN has got to go. And for those who were listening 2 weeks ago for the Charlotte Roval program, that was the last radio show for LTN. We are now going to be internet only. Now, that doesn't affect any of you listening, because you've been listening this way for quite a while anyway. There are folks that don't, and there's more than you'd probably think, that don't listen online. They're just older or don't have the technical expertise to do it, and we're going to lose some long-time loyal listeners. It's the nature of the business. Do you have any idea how the odds are stacked against the little program that could, like us, to have been doing it for 41 years on Milwaukee radio? Tell them, PJ, what are the odds of this happening ever again?
Well, it's really hard for radio to survive. And I had 25 years in radio, and this is just the nature of the beast these days. It's all very corporate. And they really don't care about local as much anymore because it's big conglomerates that buy it up.
Anyway, we just found out today.
And most everything is streaming. I mean, the guys that were fired from iHeart, like Zabin and those guys, are gone. But the rest of the group that was on 97.3 The Game, they're not on the air anymore, but they're still streaming their programs.
And that's
online.
why we're going to be just fine, Todd,
Right.
because this is where the future is.
I'm an old dog, and that's a new trick. There's something about that, but the good news.
Roll over and somebody will scratch your belly. You'll be just fine.
The good news is that we don't have to be confined by anything anymore. We can pretty much open it to anything that you want to. Well, we had it that way anyway, but we don't have to watch our language. How about that? I know that'll probably cost us some people because I'm sure we'll piss somebody off just the way we talk. But that's the way it goes. We're racing at Talladega today. Let's talk about racing instead of the radio business, because right now I'm not real thrilled with the Brewers or the radio business. Today's race will be carried on Channel 4 in Milwaukee, Channel 15 in Madison, and in other words, your local NBC affiliate. The green flag is at 1:28 Central Time. Weather is for 70s with a diminishing chance of rain. Now, this morning, supposedly it rained there, and as the day goes on, the chance is going down. But then they don't have lights at Talladega, and then they fiddly fuck around, and they start late. And by starting late and having, possible rain delays, this could shorten the event up. Let's be a little more practical than that, and that's pretty much.
The rain is already out of the area there, so they're
good.
Well on their way to track drying, and they got 3 hours yet before the green flag.
All right, very good, and we'll be good to go. Last week, of course, they raced at Las Vegas. Dan, you were there for that. Gosh, you just must have been excited as all hell to watch Denny Hamlin win the race.
It kind of was. It's kind of cool to see him in the Final Four. He's never won it before. It's a great story, I think, and he's the only guy really creating waves and making a good storylines all the way through. It'd be cool to have him right to the finish. We'll see what happens if this is finally the year. I thought it was a pretty good race towards the end. I mean, it has its low points in the middle, but then at the end it all kind of came together. It really turned when William Byron ran into the back of Ty Dillon coming in the pits. I mean, because I thought Byron was on his way to winning that race.
My first impression there, Dan, was that the mistake was completely on the 24 car, but that's not exactly what happened there, because Ty Dillon, his spotter's name was Joe White, and he got fired because Ty Dillon, apparently he was up in the racing lane. Is that why you get fired? Or why? I think it's easier to fire a spotter than it is to fire a driver, even though I thought, I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I thought Byron was completely at fault, but I'm wrong, I guess.
Well, what's being said is that Ty Dillon's spotter did not tell William Byron's spotter that they were pitting, and he was supposed to do that, and that's why he got fired.
Well, he claims he did.
Yeah. So it's a he said, she said right now. So we don't know. And I don't know.
But even if you're coming to pit road as a driver, you're supposed to signal the guys behind.
Correct.
And he didn't do that.
Unbelievable. Well, either way, somebody had to get fired, I guess. And Joe White is out of a job in the meantime. There's been a shuffle among other spotters as they're moving people around and getting them ready for this. We're happy you're tuned in to this podcast. If you'd like to, everything stays the same. If you want to call and participate, you can call our number, which was never the same number. Did you notice that? It was our number. It had nothing to do with 920 WOKY. It was our number, and it still is 414-421-7901. And you can participate in this program. We're going to sneak away to our first break, for which you will not hear a promo for WOKY. We'll be right back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Wow, that was a shorter break than usual, wasn't it? Isn't that interesting? All right, we're back. Michael McDowell. How about that guy? Is going to start from the pole today, 182.466. He went around there at 52.481. You know, imagine that. It takes almost a minute to do a lap, you know. That's a big place, isn't it? 2.66 mile. Christopher Bell starts second. Kyle Busch, third. Woohoo! Good for him. Austin Cindric, fourth, and Ryan Preece, fifth. The playoff drivers, I mentioned Briscoe's starts second. Christopher Bell, seventh. Ryan Blaney, eighth. And then we've got William Byron, 13th. Logano, I'm telling you, that sumbitch is going to win this thing again and make a total joke out of it. He starts 16th. Hamlin starts 17th. Larson, 19th. And Chase Elliott, what's going on with his lap anyway? Why is he 25th? Anybody watch qualifying?
You know, I really didn't, because it doesn't really matter where you start here. To me, it seems like
you
start in the back and still get up to the front right away. I mean, it's such a wild card race, and to have it set the, you know, one of the final four championship drivers is kind of strange this year. Although, if you look at it, the remaining playoff guys are all good. There's nobody really surprisingly left. I mean, if somebody gets in as a playoff driver, you expect them to be there anyways, because I think all 8 left are probably your best 8 guys, right? And there's nobody out there in there still that's kind of like an outlier.
Well, having Joey Logano there is kind of like the exception to the rule. He didn't have a really great season, and yet it doesn't matter. You know, I always thought, and this is to take nothing away from Jimmy Johnson and his 7 championships, but, you know, it wasn't his fault that his best tracks were all at the end of the year. And pretty much that's why the guy kept winning championships.
Well,
and
he was consistent as well. Remember now, this new format
absolutely.
here, it was before Jimmy did he maybe win one championship in this format or none? I don't even remember.
Now the last one in 2016.
Okay, yeah, in the final 4. But the rest of those were the sum of the chase format thing, where you had 10 races and his consistency, and he was so darn good, you know, kind of got him. That's why he was a true champion.
That team was good. I mean, that whole organization put together from top to bottom. That last year, not in 16 when they won it, but the one before, I think it would have been 14. Or they run the last one of their 5 in a row. I actually spent a lot of time on it because we knew some people that had worked at Roush and left there and got hired over there at the 48 car. So you actually kind of knew somebody, so you didn't feel bad walking in the garage and hanging around. And it was pretty wild just watching how they all worked. That whole team, worked as a unit. I mean, I knew one guy on that team, but everybody in that team talked to you in a group. It wasn't like you went other places where you talked to individual people. I mean, like 4 guys on this team, and all 4 of them talked to you separately, and they're all kind of, that guy's doing this, that guy's doing this. That whole team was such a great unit. And that was the year that I think Kenseth was against them. And every time that race, they pitted earlier than or down the road from what the 17 car was that Kenseth was doing. And if he took 2 tires, they took 2 tires. If he took 4 tires, they took 4 tires. Whatever the 17 did, they did exactly. And they didn't know what they were going to do until they were coming in. And I thought, wow, how can you make a change on a fly like that? You're that good that you can make that kind of a change. It was, watch what the 17 does. If he takes 2, we're taking 2. If he takes 4, we're taking 4. They just never let the 17 get an advantage on him. I was really impressed with how well that team was run.
It was, and there was no fluke that they were that good either, but it just kind of worked in Jimmy Johnson's favor every year. That it was actually kind of boring, Jimmy Johnson's like, it's Johnson time again, and which, you got to take your hat off to him. Excellence isn't easy to achieve and doesn't matter where it comes from. But
I went to Homestead every year that year thinking, anybody but the 48 again. But after watching all 5 and now knowing what I know now, I'm kind of glad I got to see it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing when you think about it. But now, it's kind of like what's happened with the 22 car. He's the perfect poster child for why this system works, for what NASCAR wanted it for. You can flounder around and barely. It's like the Diamondbacks 2 years ago. Then they made it in with an 82-80 record, I think, Dan, didn't they? They made it in the playoffs, and then they went to the World Series, for crying out loud. And why is that? Because when it was time to perform, they performed, unlike the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. I should say, unlike Christian Yelich. So I can't blame Logano for doing what you're supposed to do, but on the other hand, this is why they're coming up with this all this talk that it's going to go back to the Bob Latford point system.
Or something similar to it.
I think it's going to happen.
I think you're still going to have some kind of a playoff kind of situation. It may not be like a one race winner take all type deal. It may be a combination of it, or maybe you'll have like a 3 race stretch or something like that. I think it's going to be a little bit of a combination of the old system and what we have now. I don't think you can go completely back to the old system. It kind of sucks for me is because we keep changing it, and each year the championship is kind of diminished. I think you don't remember them as much, and because there are different ways of winning it. I wish it would pick a format and stick with it like we had for so many years. It was kind of nice to do that.
I think how this season ends might have a bigger bearing on it. If we go through the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, and you get Corey Heim and Connor Zilic winning those 2 championships, and Joey Logano doesn't win the Cup championship, I'm not so sure we're going to see the change then. I think it's kind of more of a wait and see to see what happens here. I mean, Joey's 24 out as you go into today, so he's got work to do. And the track we thought he was going to make all his grounds up last week at Vegas has come and gone, and he's still on the outside looking in. So, last year that's where he got it done, and years before that he got it done at Vegas, and he didn't this time. So, all the talk of Joey getting to the Final Four, he's got a tall order ahead of him to get that done.
And it could be they're finally starting to see your viewership. You look at it; it's not way down, but it's not going up either. I mean, last week did they lose to NHRA one of these times?
Yeah. The caveat to that is NHRA was on network TV and it came out right after football. So if you were watching whatever game was on Fox that time and you didn't turn your TV off, the NHRA came on, so the TV stayed on. So you got to put a little asterisk next to that, I think. Today is going to be the first Cup race on network TV since May. Think about that. So, let's see how the ratings are here the last 3 weeks when we're on network TV.
And you think going forward too, there's a opportunity there to get better, because you see F1, they did a deal for next 5 years with Apple TV. You have to pay to watch F1 races. I don't think they're that popular in the States that people can actually pay a streaming service to watch their races, but we'll see. They think they are.
I'm not gonna. Are you, Dan?
No, I'm not.
No. And we both watched them pretty religiously.
As we're getting ready to do a break, it just dawns on me, we can go back to calling ourselves Let's Talk NASCAR again. We don't have to worry about it anymore.
Well,
we're not on the air. We're still LTN Incorporated, but, we're going to Let's Talk NASCAR is about to take a break, and we'll be right back.
From from racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines. Just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs, all backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company in the heart of Wisconsin is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Welcome back. Nice to have you. Again, the number to call if you would like to participate, 414-421-7901. The Dodge truck team, that's going to be a colleague deal. Did they say how many trucks they're going to have? Like 4 or something?
5. I thought 5.
5. Well, they hadn't named any drivers yet, but they finally did. They've announced their first driver. Butterbean Queen going to be a Dodge boy. You know, that's really a nice move. Why wouldn't you? You know, the kid's coming in. He's pretty damn good. Dodge trucks, they come in together and they can maybe grow together. That's kind of a nice thing. And
he's got a pretty big following. I mean, you know, he's got, you know, the whole Butterbean brand, I guess you could say, maybe is probably kind of cool too. It's kind of like Cletus McFarland over on
the Waffle House has helped him gain that too.
Right, that's true. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stories there and stuff you could really build off of, I think. And he ran ARCA this year and won some races, so it wasn't like he's just jumping into a truck with really no experience.
And the championship, he is the ARCA champion this year.
And so good for him. Good for Colleague. I think it's a nice thing for them to get a driver that has not doesn't have any at this point.
Who the other 4 drivers are going to be? You know, that's a pretty big truck team there. And did you see their alliance, their technical alliance with Childress? I think is ending because of this deal. They were part of under the Childress alliance deal, weren't they? And now I think that's going away because of the whole Dodge or Stellantis, what do you want to call it, Ram.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's plans there to maybe move that up into the other series in the next year or two as well, as starting the trucks. But I think could be some plans to, you know, join the Cup Series at one point.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. You know, this truck thing, it's interesting that this is how Dodge is coming in, because they're not going to be making their own engines. They're going to have the same engines that are in the Fords and the Chevrolets. There are those Ilmor. It's not going to be a Dodge. The chassis is going, I mean, everything is going to be the same as every other truck. They just put a Dodge sticker on it, which, you know, is going to be totally different, I think, than the engineering involved when they come up with their own engine for the Cup Series, which is down the line. I mean, there's no reason they would come back into Dodge if they didn't, into the Truck Series if they didn't have some sort of long-term plan to come into Cup, right? And they did announce that already, so, right?
Yeah, that makes the most sense. It's just interesting to see how long that's going to be. You know, Colleague breaks away from their Chevy Alliance now. I mean, is this just a one-year thing? Is Dodge going to be back the following year? Because you really can't go that long in this business without having some sort of alliance with one of the bigger teams because you're really going to struggle, and they already struggle the way it is.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's good. It's good for all involved, and it'd be neat that old Butterbean is going to be around full time. There has been some driver movement. This isn't all, Cup Series necessarily, except for Justin Haley. They've announced that Justin is not going to come back into the 7 car. Boy, it was such a big deal when they got, we're going to sign Justin Haley to the 7. And I thought, yeah, he's all right, but I don't know why this is a big deal. And he certainly hasn't done squat in that number 7 car this year. The most talked about name out there to take his place is going to be Daniel Suarez, which we assume is still bringing the money along from this mudslide slim dude down in Mexico. What's his? He owns the telephone company in Mexico, right? What's Slim's first name?
Carlos
Slim. You gotta love that name.
What's up with Spire? I mean, everybody thought that was such a great organization, and even over there, and they had Rodney Childers over there, and they haven't really done much now, and they got a lot of resources. I mean, there's a ton of more resources on that team than a lot of other teams have, and it's kind of like the California Angels. You got all those great players and pieces together, but you can't put it together to make it work. I mean, the best car on that whole stable right now is the 77. They haven't won yet. He's at least somewhat running up front. I mean, the other cars aren't doing much, and they haven't for a while now.
If we go back to
change, McDowell's on the pole today. That's something.
Yeah, and if we go back to April or May, we all talked about any day now Carson Hocevar is going to get a win. I think a couple of us even picked him. Now we fast forward all the way to middle to the end of October, and he still didn't win a race, and Spire hasn't won a race. I don't think I would have predicted that back in April or May.
He is pretty good at stepping on his dick.
Well, there's that, and that is that going to change no matter where you go? The other movement, Matt DiBenedetto got fired. They're going to put Connor Mozak in the number 99 car in the Xfinity Series. I have to hand it to DiBenedetto. He is his own agent, it seems like. He has a great social media presence. He's a very likable guy. He gets fans from how he shows up on the internet. But the problem is, it sounds a little bit like Haley Deegan. It's the same thing. She has a great social media presence, but at the end of the day, you got to produce. DiBenedetto didn't produce at any level.
Right.
He had a shot, right, Dan?
He had his opportunities. I really, what stands out with him was when he was driving that 95 car, he was going to win Bristol that year. Ryan Newman was a lap car. He wouldn't get out of his way. Denny Hamlin was running him down. He wouldn't move the lap car out of the way to get by him, and he let Hamlin come and pass him. And I thought there was your opportunity to win this race. And if you can't move a lap car to win your first race, it's going to, send, signals down the garage that maybe this guy isn't cut out for it. Maybe he doesn't want it bad enough. Because, I mean, to me, if it's my first race and I need to win real bad and the lap car is in my way, he's getting sent. He's going to get shoved and moved out of the way, especially if I got to get going because the guy behind me is coming. And Denny Hamlin passed him, won that race. Matt finished second. Oh, yeah, good story, but he should have won that deal.
And then he cried about it. Literally, remember? He literally had tears rolling down his face when they were interviewing him.
Stop me if you've heard this story before, but isn't this a little bit like Ted Musgrave at Darlington, where he had an opportunity to win a race, but he would have had to move?
He would have had to race. It was Jarrett was catching him. It was Dale Jarrett. And, they were side by side. And, he probably should have roughed him up a little bit. He wouldn't, not wreck him, but he probably could have carried him up the track. He raced him clean and nice, finished second. But that was your first win, and it didn't. Remember, Jarrett said something. I want to thank him for racing me nice, and I'm like, that's the worst thing you can say in victory lane because that guy needed that win bad. When Dale Jarrett won his first race, remember he took Davey Allison up to the fence to win it at Michigan in '91, and he said, "I hope he understands that's my first win. I'm sorry about that, but it's my first one. I needed that."
Yeah, and eventually it cost him. I don't know, just. As likable a character as this DiBenedetto is, I just don't think he has the talent to win races. It doesn't seem like it. I don't know much about Connor Mozak. Brian, I know you do. He's
he's a Trans Am guy. Very talented. He's won several ARCA races over the year here. I mean, I don't know how good the Viking Motorsports number 99 is. So, hopping in that car, I don't think that's going to be a permanent home for Connor Mosack. But
I think he brought money too. I mean, more money than De Benedetto, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And we don't know what kind of money is out there. Does De Benedetto bring money? It makes it easier to fire him if he doesn't, right? So
yeah, I don't think he does.
All right. We're going to take a break and be back. We've got about halfway through this, the LTN podcast, which will return right after these.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
I'm not used to those short breaks yet, That's pretty good.
Your wife is.
Cut that out. Randall Burnett, we remember him. He was the crew chief for Rowdy, and he got fired because Rowdy is doing squat in that 8 car. So we've had this guy named Andy Street in there. Turns out that Andy Street is a temporary because they hired Jim Pullman to be the full-time crew chief for Kyle Busch next year. The guy came from, well, first of all, he was the crew chief for Justin Allgaier. He is the crew chief for Justin Allgaier. And I guess he's going to stay in that job through the end of the year, maybe win Allgaier a championship, since Allgaier qualified for the Final Four yesterday. He used to work at Childress. He was the head of R&D over there, and he left there to be a crew chief, and now he's coming back to take over and try and turn around the career of Kyle Busch. I say turn around because it's very odd to have him go a year or two at a time without a win. Did he lose his talent? Is he losing it? I hate to say that. I don't think so. Not at all, actually. And I can't believe the guy's not winning. So that must be that Childress's operation there isn't all it's supposed to be.
He qualified all right, though.
He did. How about that? Yeah, well, let's go ahead and give that credit to Andy Street, because he must have helped, because Kyle Busch qualified third today. Good for them.
Childress cars have been pretty good on the drafting tracks. I guess you can't call them plate tracks anymore. What do you call them? I mean, like
super speedways.
Yeah.
And they certainly haven't had any problems at all in the Xfinity series. Austin Hill specifically, my God, the least favorite driver in that series, and he keeps. That's probably one of the reasons. Nobody likes a guy that continuously wins, right? That's why DW used to he'd get out with that big ass smile and Well, anyway,
Austin Hill though is a bit of a douche canoe in his own right,
isn't he ever? He really
Think about him though. Those points that he lost at Indianapolis with his dumb move there knocked him out of the last round, and now he wins a race. What would have put him into the Final Four? So it's like just so fitting that the karma is just biting him big time.
Poetic justice, we call that.
It is.
Carson Quapple finished second yesterday. He's not really in a very bad position right now with one race to go before we find out who's going to be in the final
There's
four.
not a lot of movement available in the Xfinity series because you have Zilich and Allgaier advanced already. Jesse Love is 40 to the good going to Martinsville. So you have Carson Quapple 11 to the good and Sammy Smith 11 out as they go to Martinsville. And then you have Brandon Jones 20 out, Sam Mayer 22 out, and Sheldon Creed 41 out. Looking like it could be an all Chevy Final Four in the Xfinity series this year.
That Sam Mayer thing has got local interest. Of course, Sam crashed yesterday, and pretty much you can't be crashing if you're in that trying to points your way in. And if you don't win all the time, or at least have a shot, Mayer, he's a pretty damn good driver. He's in equipment. I think that he's made that equipment look better than it actually was.
You say that you can't crash if you're going to advance, and especially in the playoff format. But then you put Talladega as a cutoff race or a late race to put you in the final, where 3/4 of the field crashes all the time.
Isn't that something?
It's by design.
And I think it is too. And today is the day we find out about that because it's going to happen. The big one does happen. We follow each other around, but eventually, there's going to be something that's going to hit the fan. In the truck series, Gio Ruggiero won his first race, which is kind of, Corey Heim didn't. That's the big deal. Also, Luke Fenhouse damn near won that thing. I didn't watch the race. I didn't see it. Somebody tell me how Luke.
That's because it was on in the middle of the afternoon on a work day. I mean, come on. That's why nobody saw that race.
Luke was up to second place. I mean, he had his teammate Ben Rhodes in front of him. He actually led a bunch of the race as well. As it came down to it, it was Rhodes and Fenhouse on the inside and the Toyota trucks on the outside. And coming to the white flag, everybody's pushing and got pushed through, and Rhodes got turned, and it turned Luke as well. They didn't hit nothing, so they came back and did finish, but it took them out. And, Ben Rhodes is kind of crying on the radio. I don't know how many times this has to happen to me. Every time I'm leading the race, coming off the corner, I get turned, and it's like, but it's not the same guy, dude. And when it's different guys all the time, maybe you're not coming off the corner right or something, or you're not, or you're slow coming off the corner when everybody's pushing. You gotta maybe, I don't drive trucks, so I don't know. I can't say. But it just seems like that if it happens all the time with a different person, maybe you got to be ready for it or make an adjustment there, because this was Luke's first race ever at Talladega, and I thought he did really well. Too bad that the finish didn't.
No kidding. No kidding. Well, he's got a lot to learn. If that was his first race, I think that it's coming along pretty good, don't you?
Well,
definitely
at Talladega, yes, and I know I'm obviously a Ty Majeski fan, but the guy got wrecked early on and still managed to eke out
third.
Yeah, third place finish. So
with the fender flapping all over the place. I mean, he was making it was funny watching that truck in the draft because all the bear bond was coming off, so he was making all kinds of waves. That I thought they were just happy to finish top 10 if they could, because they were pretty much out of it for the win. But to come all the way back to third looks well going into the one more race before the championship, right?
Yep. Still out of the cutoff line though, unfortunately, with a third place finish. He's still 5 below. Really interesting setup for the trucks going to Martinsville. You have Raja Karuth, 14 to the good. Now remember, there's going to be at least 2 that advance on points because of the Geo win. Mm-hmm. Tyler Ankrum is 8 to the good, and Caden Honeycutt is 5 to the good.
That's because he picked up all those stage wins.
Yeah. Ty didn't get any stage points. That goes to show where that hurts. Outside looking in, Ty is 5 out. Lane Riggs, another championship contender you would think, is 6 out. Hemrick is 32 out, and Grant Infinger is 40 out. He's going to need to win because he crashed early. But, boy, if it stays like this, think about that Final Four, Corey Heim, and then Caruth, Ankrum, and Caden Honeycutt. I mean, engrave the trophy, right?
I think 98's pretty good at Martinsville, right, PJ? I think the thing about Martinsville, you got to worry about getting running from the back at the end of the race, because there's another one you get turned around late.
Speaking of the trucks, Norm Benning, who is so old, he's actually older than I am by 2 months. The bottom end of his engine just completely came apart, and the truck filled up with flames and smoke, and he said he was trying to hold his breath as long as he could because it was so bad in there. He did end up with some smoke inhalation. He's going to be okay. Norm, don't you think it's about time you want to hang it up? How long do you want to do this? He was running 32nd at the time. He must be having a hell of a good time running 32nd, I guess. That's the way it works. We're very happy you're tuned in. We're going to come back with some results from around the world of both dirt and asphalt right after these messages.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
You could tell we're getting into late October because the dirt results diminish rapidly as we work our way through.
Not just dirt, brother.
Yeah. We'll start Friday night, Dodge City, Kansas. The USAC Amsoil National Sprint cars were there. Kyle Cummins grabbed the win there. Up in Elizabethtown, Ontario, Canada, the Super Dirt Car Series Big Block Modifieds. Matt Williamson continued his dominance after winning Super Dirt Week the other week. He picks up another win there. Lincoln, Illinois, the UMP Fall Nationals. For the UMP Late Models, Jason Fager grabbed the win there. Putnamville, Indiana, the Lincoln Park Speedway for the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. David Grabble grabbed the win after a very controversial contact with Buddy Kofoid on the last lap. Bill Balog, another great run. He's having an excellent year with the Outlaws. For his team, he finished third. Fort Worth, Texas, Friday night, the dirt track at Texas Motor Speedway. For the high-limit sprint cars, Rico Abreu grabbed the feature win there. Last night, the World of Outlaws were supposed to run at LaSalle, but bad weather hampered that event. They are going to run today.
Weren't you?
I was going to go to that, yes, but I kind of read the forecast and saw that wasn't going to be any good. Last race of the year in the state of Wisconsin today. Greg McCarnes, the promoter over at Angel Park Speedway, and SLS Promotions co-promoting that event that was supposed to be held in June. They're going to run it today. I just checked, and as of now, they're still running the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws, at Angel Park Speedway today. So if you want to see one last race in the state of Wisconsin, yes, it starts right around the time the Packer game is going on. I think the gates open, or hot laps are at 5. So check that one out.
What time's the Packer game today?
3:30.
Okay.
So, but keep your eyes on social media and updates to make sure that event is still going on. But as of right now, I just checked, it's still on. Saturday night, Ogilvie, Minnesota, the Wissota Topless Nationals. The Wissota Late Model Feature winner, Joel Bennett from nearby Hortonville, Wisconsin, picked up the win out in Minnesota. That's always cool to see. The Wissota Modifieds, Shane Sobrowski was your winner. Amarillo, Texas, the Route 66 Motor Speedway for the USAC Amsoil National Sprint Cars. Jake Swanson was your winner. Fort Worth, Texas, the dirt track at Texas Motor Speedway. Final night of the High Limit Sprint Car Series. Rico Abreu is the feature winner, and he is also the 2025 High Limit champion. And the big money race of the weekend was in Rossburg, Ohio. Also the 2025 High Limit at the Eldora Speedway, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Dirt Track World Championships. $100,000 to win feature. Bobby Pierce grabbed the win there, and your 2025 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion is Devin Moran. After Ricky Thornton Jr. and Jonathan Davenport both had problems last night, Devin Moran is your Lucas Oil champion. That is everything for this week.
Did you
Go ahead, Dan.
See on X the person that had when Devin Moran won the championship? Put down, I can't believe you hugged the trophy girl like that right in front of his wife. His sister, dude.
Yeah, his sister. Yes, that was his sister. His sister and Bobby Pierce's fiance. Those are the two trophy girls at Eldora. So when you see different actions by different drivers, they all know them real well.
It's a dirt track thing, hugging your sister like that.
It's a different thing down in Arkansas. ASA Stars National Tour ran last Sunday. The Winchester 400. The winner was Ty Majeski in a Michael Hind fielded car. It's a Hamke chassis, but Toby was there, contributed to some of the adjustments, and was even the gas man. He's actually here. Toby is. I don't have that microphone on though, Toby, so you'll have to talk into here if you want to say something. Do you want to say something? No, he shakes his head no. All right. Other notables. Cole Butcher finished third, wrapped up the Stars Championship. One race early. Billy Van Meter was fourth, and he wrapped up the CRA Jegs All-Star Tour Championship. Other notables, Stephen Nassie and an Anthony Campy car finished fifth. Derek Kraus was there, finished 13th. Jesse Bernhagen finished 14th, and Derek Thorne was 18th. The next race for the series is their finale at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. That'll be coming up in 2 weeks, Sunday, November 9th, and Majeski said in Victory Lane that he would be there as well. Yesterday and last night, or I guess I should say just last night, the ZMAX Cars Tour was at North Wilkesboro Speedway. The Smart Modified Tour winner was Luke Baldwin. That's Tommy Baldwin's kid. Luke was also the Smart Mod Tour champion now. That's 2 years in a row for him. Pro Late Model winner at North Wilkesboro was Keelan Harvick. His dad finished dead last. And the champion was Ben Mayer, and that's with Rick Ware Racing. The Late Model Stock Car winner was Caden Quapple. That was his first win. And yes, that is Travis Quapple's younger son. Champion was Landon Lewis. And then last night at Dells Raceway Park for the following 100, the 602 feature winner was Bobby Wilberg, champion Dennis Prunty. Midwest Dash feature winner was Tim Anderson, and the champion was Phil Maloof. Midwest Truck feature winner Clay Curtis, and the champion Brandon Reichenberger edging out Grant Griesbach. Super Late Model feature winner was Tristan Swanson, who's getting married next weekend to Lauren Fredrickson. That is Danny Fredrickson's daughter.
Oh, the plot thickens.
Yeah, pretty exciting times for them. The Alive for 5 champ after last night's race was Casey Johnson. He finished second in that feature. Looked like he just decided to play big picture racing there as well. Tundra Super Late Model champion was Jordan DeVoy and Cody King. You can kind of partner up for the series and run it as a tag team for events, and that's what those boys did. And they claimed the Tundra Super Late Model Championship. And that's it for asphalt results.
Brian, you had a little story about Penn Sauter that I think our listeners would be very interested to hear.
Yeah, he was racing with Gabe pretty hard. It was about halfway through the race, just a little bit probably before the halfway mark. And, Penn wasn't quite as quick as Gabe, and Gabe was working him. And finally Gabe had enough and got into him, and Penn went spinning. And supposedly there was talk that Penn was asked to tap out, and he said he wasn't going to do that. So that's why they both were then sent to the back, and neither one of them had a decent. Well, I think Penn came back and finished between 12th and 15th, something like that. Gabe did not finish the race.
Yeah, Gabe moved up and was running pretty well, but then had other issues and had to retire.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Penn, he did all right last week at lacrosse too, right, PJ?
Yes, he did. I don't have those results right in front of me, but yeah.
Finished fifth, and I thought it was pretty good, man. All that big money on the line and all that, and a lot of people I think didn't. It would be a great story, but I think a lot of people thought it was going to get claimed. But boy, he gave it a run, I mean, it was up front all race long and finished fifth place. I mean, that whole race, that story was, could he win this money? And it was a pretty good deal. I think that's really good for a second-year driver running a big race like that, putting a whole deal together and finishing fifth. That's kind of how it starts. You got to kind of build off of that. And I was pretty impressed with him this year in his second year in the Super Lates. I think
absolutely.
First year in a Super Late.
Yeah,
his first ever Super Late Model start was the Icebreaker 100 at the beginning of the year at Dells.
Oh yeah,
and he put it in the fence in the first lap. He put it in the fence in the first lap of practice, and ever since then he's been doing pretty good.
He did. They say something about it's hard to push a rope. Listen, the kid has the talent. We just have to see now how Johnny, who's well known for his patience, is going to mold the young man and help him. Having a guy like, for instance, old man Fredrickson, old man Sauter, their kids are benefiting from their experience, and it's going to be interesting to watch. And I think they're both about the same age, aren't they? 15-ish?
15 or 16.
I mean, just to show Penn's age, I was in Gabe Summers' trailer yesterday afternoon,
His body.
talking with Gabe and his dad, and Penn was in there as well, and they're talking about something, and they're talking about Penn is asking, can you run the higher line here above the concrete, and then somebody laughed and said, Rich Bickle may have said that, and Penn Sauter says, Rich Bickle, I've never even talked to that guy. I don't even know who he is if he walked by me. He says, and everybody just pauses and looks. But think about it. When you're 15 years old, you probably wouldn't. He was probably playing in the swings on the sandbox when Rich was racing. I said, just talk to your dad. He probably knows definitely. He just smiles. But, I mean, that's how young some of these kids are. That they don't know who these people are. It was just stunning when you heard somebody say that.
That's funny.
I think it's kind of cool to see that the Bandolero class. A lot of people sometimes they have a bunch of them, and they have early on they have a lot of single car spins, and they take a while. But look at what we're getting out of that. I mean, there's people that are coming out of that have been pretty darn good race car drivers. Look at like Penn Sauter. Look at the Jaden Johnson. He moved up to a late model this year, won the championship at Slinger. So and there's a ton of them out there. So I think the future is bright that way if we can just keep teaching these kids like their dads are doing right now. I think we can have a pretty good crop of race car drivers up here to continue going on.
I agree with that completely. We're going to sneak away for our final break. Come back with some more thoughts on today's race at Talladega and maybe some picks.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
PJ, we got a question from Joe on the Facebook page that says, why did Ty only get $15,000 for Winchester when it was posted for $20,000 to win?
Well, I'll hand that over to Toby to answer.
Oh, I don't know if he heard the question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would just, I think they only had their standard race only pays $15,000, and I think they forgot the other check. I mean, as far as I know, it was 20 to win. That's what they had there, and that's what they put out there.
Were you at the Dells yesterday?
Yep, I was with Skyler.
Oh, okay. How did he do? I didn't see. How did he do?
He ended up 10th. We qualified 17th. I mean, he's been out of that for a while, and this is like his second time on bump stops. So he's a one-footed driver. I mean, he's got a pile of talent. He just, we struggled a little bit, but we got it. I mean, at the end he came on. So.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Toby, I got a question, Toby. You guys got the Snowball, you've got the Rattler, now the Winchester 400. What race out there haven't you guys won that kind of like on the list? Is there one out there that you really want to get now?
Well, we want Nashville's. That's one. We haven't won that yet. I mean, we've had really good cars there. We're excited about going there. The other one that we really want to do is the Oxford 250, but their rules are a little different. So we got to do some different stuff to our cars to go there.
Long way to haul a race car, isn't it?
Yeah, well.
I know.
We've been to California before, and I don't think it's that far. So.
Yeah. Hey, since we have you here, and we're about to make our picks for today's race, I'm going to give you the first round draft choice, if you'd like. Go ahead and pick somebody to win at Talladega today.
I'll just go with Chris Buescher. That's kind of been my guy.
Okay.
And Mike Herman Jr. spots for him, and he's going to Pensacola with us. So.
Okay. All right. Hey, hang around for the Hangover show if you would like after the top of the hour. That'd be kind of neat to have you.
All right.
All right. I'm going to take Bubba Wallace today. Yeah, I know. Why not? He's good on these kind of tracks. Who wants to go next, Dan or Brian?
Go ahead, Dan.
All right. I'll take William Byron to make up for the move that pretty much cost him a shot at the championship last week.
Brian?
I have him in my final four. He's on the outside looking in, and he needs to win, and maybe I can just jinx him right out of it. I'm going to take Joey Logano. Boy, I hope I'm not right, because I was right last week, and I don't want to be right again.
And PJ, I'm already writing number 12 down here.
Very good. Thank you. Ryan Blaney.
Yeah. He's
another one that needs to win.
Yeah, but boy, oh boy, he's sure.
He's good at Martinsville, so he's got that in his back pocket.
Yeah, next week at Martinsville, too. Keep that in mind. We go from Talladega, the biggest track, to Martinsville, the smallest track. And that's going to be another whole set of, they say that's where you want to pay guys back for when they pissed you off today at Talladega. So
I'll tell you, the way Penske's dominated Phoenix lately, if any one of those Penske cars gets in this week or next week, it's going to be tough to beat at Phoenix. So, I mean, the rest of the field, it's in their best interest to not have a Penske car in the championship 4. So we'll see what happens. That's the only 2 Fords left, right? So, I mean, Ford's got their whole deal behind them. And
right now, as it stands now, you got 3 Toyotas and 1 Chevy in your final 4. I mean, we have 2 races to go yet.
And like Austin Cindric said, everybody left has got a wingman.
Yep.
Think about it.
Jeez. All right. Well, there's something to think about. A couple of notes here. Rookie Reddick, that's the little guy, had his kidney removed this week. I don't know if you've seen pictures of this kid. My God, is he a cute little guy? And he's gone through a lot too, but all signs are good for a long, completely, he's going to come out of this okay. And remember, you don't need 2 kidneys. One is just an expendable piece there. And apparently they're planning, this is the way they're going with the long term. So a little guy is had his kidney removed and it's looking good. Also, I don't know if you guys saw this. They're going to race at the Navy base in Coronado Island in San Diego next year on Father's Day weekend. And it's going to be a 3-event race. They're going to have trucks on Friday, Xfinity Saturday, and Cup on Sunday. And because Friday is Juneteenth Day, they're not going to allow anybody on base, and you won't be able to watch the truck race live. If you want to see the trucks, you have to stay home and watch it on TV. First of all, I didn't realize that they made Juneteenth a national holiday. It must have been a Joe Biden thing, right? I'm guessing.
But still, we don't have time to talk about it, but we could in the future. I mean, what is NASCAR doing with their truck series? I mean, the last 2 races in the playoffs here have been in the middle of a workday afternoon. The Roval, that was in the afternoon before people are off work yesterday. I mean, don't we want to promote the sport? They always talk about promoting the sport. Well, don't you want to get people there to watch it? Don't you want to, arguably the racing in the truck series is better than the Cup series, but now you don't want people to even come and watch it. Now you're going to do it again next year. What's going on?
Unbelievable. It is.
And they'll have a crowd there from the base, right? It's everybody on the base and their families can go watch the race, but the base is closed, right, so nobody else can come in.
But if I'm going all the way to San Diego to watch the race, which I'm not, but if I was, I'd want to watch all the races. Now you're going to tell me I can't go watch it? I mean, come on.
Unbelievable. Hey, thanks for tuning into the program. If you missed it early, where we made the announcement at the top of the show that this program is no longer going to be carried on the radio. 41 good, solid, consecutive seasons on Milwaukee radio. It came to an end 2 weeks ago after the Charlotte show on the 5th. And we do appreciate everybody for listening on the internet. And we want everybody to know that real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our engineer is Matt Losi, who we're going to arm him with a microphone from now on in case he wants to come on here and say something profound, which we encourage him to do. For all of us, thanks for being here, and RIP to the radio. See ya.